Welcome, family, friends, future nurses, and honored guests. We are pleased that you could join us on this special occasion. My name is Lori-Ann Ferguson, and I'm the Dean of the School of Nursing, and I welcome you tonight. We believe that an Emory and Henry nurse will be a special nurse poised to provide care to our community in Southwest Virginia and beyond. And this is our second white coat ceremony. I would like to ask the Reverend Sharon Wright to come and give the invocation.
You all may be seated. Thank you, Dr. Ferguson. It's a joy to be here with you all again this evening. Let us bow for a moment of prayer. We pause first of all this evening, O God, to give you thanks that in spite of the wind and the rain, we have the opportunity to gather for this significant moment in the lives of these students. In a time when the need for healthcare workers, especially nurses, is so great, we are thankful for these who have answered the call to serve, to provide wellness and healing for those in need. We are grateful for the Emory and Henry School of Nursing and for the faculty and the staff members who are committed to passing along not only the knowledge it takes to be a nurse, but the wisdom and the heart it takes to be an excellent nurse. We pray that the white coats these nursing students receive tonight will be symbolic of putting on the virtues of compassion, of kindness, of gentleness. We pray that they will wear these coats with confidence and humility, with skill, with patience, and with deep gratitude for this opportunity they have been given to serve others. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Wright. The wearing of white coats has specific traditions within the health professions. Short coats are for pre-licensed personnel, while long coats are reserved for licensed personnel. White coat ceremonies are relatively new, but nursing has had a long tradition of pledging commitment to ethical and compassionate patient care during their education. The pledge historically often occurred during capping ceremonies, and while capping ceremonies have long vanished to antiquity, the commitment remains today. I love the author Susan Gordon's assessment that it says, it may not take a nurse to check you into a hospital, but it definitely takes a nurse to check you out alive. We are pleased to have faculty and administration join us tonight for this special event, including Provost Puglisi, Vice President and School of Health Sciences Dean Lou Fincher, Reverend Wright, and Dean Wright, and nursing faculty Dr. Sandra Farmer, Dr. Teresa Wexler, Shauna Large, Michaela Bledvins, and Cassie Sheffy. Provost Puglisi, we invite you to give a few remarks.
Thank you, Dean Ferguson. I'm pleased to be here this evening for this meaningful occasion to add my welcome, and on behalf of President Wells, who's out of town this week, to convey his welcome, particularly to the families and the friends of our future nurses. I know this is a proud night for you, family and friends, celebrating the accomplishments of these fine students, for all that they've achieved so far, and anticipating the achievements they will realize in the future. I'm pleased also to recognize the faculty who will guide them on their journey into the nursing profession. These faculty will play an invaluable role in mentoring you, our students, into the professionals that you will become. And so I offer my congratulations to our students on this occasion. There's important symbolism in the white coat ceremony. We have many symbols and rituals in higher education to mark milestones in our students' journeys along their way. Tonight's ceremony is a rite of passage of sort for you, and it's an important one. Tonight marks the symbolic start of your professional path. The white coats that you're going to be putting on tonight are symbols of the professionalism that you are committing yourselves to, as is the pledge that you're going to be going to take in a few moments. Emory and Henry is committed to serving the needs of our region. That commitment is nowhere more apparent than in healthcare professions. Our region, our world, needs nurses like the ones that you will become. Dean Ferguson said in her remarks a moment ago that we believe that Emory and Henry nurse will be a special nurse, providing care for our communities. And by that, I'm confident that she means that not only will you be expertly trained in the science and technology of nursing, but you will also appreciate the value of the humanistic component of your profession, to provide the compassionate care that is fundamental as you recognize the value inherent in every patient that you serve. So I want to offer my best wishes to our new class of nursing students as you begin your professional journey.
Thank you, Provost Puglisi. Organized nursing education began about 150 years ago. For the first 100 years, nursing education took place in hospital-based, hospital-owned schools. The apprentice-like system later expanded into registration as professional nursing licensed nurses. Although the first baccalaureate nursing program began in 1918, real significant expansion of BSN programs did not occur until the 1940s and 50s. Numerous studies have found that nurses educated at the BSN degree or higher positively impact care, improving patient outcomes. The combining of a liberal arts education and the science of nursing develops graduates who demonstrate knowledge in the arts and sciences, oral and written skills, and critical thinking. But nursing's not new to Emory and Henry. In the 1950s, when most collegiate nursing programs were found at large urban universities, Emory and Henry was very progressive in Southwest Virginia by starting a BSN program. In 1956 and 1957, Emory and Henry graduated 2 BSN classes. During the last year, we've been privileged to get to know some of our surviving alum. In May 2022, we hosted 3 of the 1956 nurses on our Health Sciences campus in Marion to meet the class of 2024. They told hilarious stories and how their nursing education created bonds among their classmates, leading to lifelong friendships. Consistent in their stories of their escapades in school and later their professional careers, where they spoke of how education and the practice of nursing has changed over the decades, was one constant theme: the commitment to compassionate care. I'd like to share a few minutes of the 3 surviving alums that were able to attend in May, some of their thoughts.
I'm Charlotte Webb, and I live in South Carolina, but I graduated at Emory and Henry in 1956.
I'm Mary Ann Poling. Well, I should say Mary Ann Peters Poling. And I'm from Beckley, West Virginia. And I went to Emory and Henry, and I graduated in 1956.
And I'm Shirley Phillips Mentor, and I live in Beckley also, Beckley, West Virginia. And I graduated from Emory and Henry College in 1956 with a BS degree in nursing.
I'm glad you put that on there. We did, Charlotte, and I didn't.
We did. We forgot to.
Yeah, we didn't add it. About 10 years.
And I worked 6 years. It led me to raising a family.
Yes.
But then now I'm volunteering for hospice of Southern West Virginia.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a stay-home mother raised 4 children.
And I also had 3 children, and I stayed home with them. But there were times that I helped out with neighbors and friends, family,
Yeah.
and we've all done that.
Yeah. It goes on. Once you're a nurse,
You're always.
you're always a nurse.
Right.
And that's how I got interested in hospice. I was helping out with people, friends or neighbors who had terminal diseases that needed help desperately. And, you know, your skills may get a little rusty, but that
Passion, maybe.
yeah, but that compassion and care
Yeah,
is still
it's
with
care.
you.
It's-
I always said my second choice was pilot, to be a pilot.
Wow.
Airplane.
Really?
I did. I always thought I wanted to be a pilot. I loved flying.
Oh, I love flying
Uh-huh.
for travel. I
I
really
did.
do.
I probably would have been a school teacher. When I came to Emory and Henry, I did not know they had a 4-year nursing program, and I really wanted to be a nurse, but my dad wanted me to go to college. So my sister was a student at Emory and Henry, so I just said, well, I'll go and be a school teacher. And then they started the 4-year nursing program, so
And that was that.
that was that.
What's that?
The rest is history.
Absolutely.
The class was so cohesive, wasn't it?
It's like
Yes.
a family. We were so close that there were 10 of us, just like this class. But we were just, you know, what affected one affected all 10.
It did.
And we still, the few of us that are left, try to keep in touch.
We feel so blessed that we're still able to keep in touch and give back to our community the best we can.
I'm so impressed to see the progress.
This seems like it's on solid ground, and we're so excited. And this building is just so impressive
Yes,
to me.
very much so.
And the staff just seems excellent.
We know they'll make a difference.
They're a lovely group of young ladies.
Yes. The smile, I can see this compassion coming out of them. I think they'll be wonderful.
So just as an off-script note, I think you can see from their just sharing in a short snippet, their bond of friendship that has lasted decades. So this group, you will find that you will develop friends that are yours forever. If you happen to come to the Marion campus, the nurse's cape that's in our display is actually from Marianne Peters Poling, it was sitting in the middle. So it was her cape that she wore during her studies. But when we asked for a guest speaker tonight, we were hoping to have 3 of the ladies, or at least 2 of them, but one, Miss Shirley Minter, was able to record a few thoughts, special wishes for this class. And so I'd like to have us play her message, please.
Good evening, I'm Shirley Minter. I'm so thankful to be a part of your program tonight, your White Coat program. That is so special, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm a graduate of Emory and Henry's first class BS degree of nursing in 1956. I'm proud and privileged to tell you that. It was, I went to Emory and Henry in 1952. That's been a long time ago. And I really didn't know that they were going to start a degree program. I always wanted to be a nurse, but they didn't have a 4-year program except in Richmond and Charlottesville at that time. And I lived in a small town, and I didn't want to go to the city. So my sister was a student at Emory and Henry College, and I thought, well, I guess I'll just have to be a school teacher. And when I went to the college, they were starting a degree program, and I got accepted right away. And I got on board, and I was so pleased and happy. And that turned out real well for me. I was we made friends right away with all the students, lasting friendships, of course. The 12 of us, 9 of us lived in the dorm on campus. 3 lived close by in Saltville, Meadowview. So they lived at home the first 2 years, but they were required to live in the nurses' quarters at Abingdon when we were at the hospital and doing our clinicals. So while we were at Emory and Henry, the 2 years, we could be in a sorority, which I was, and enjoyed that life. I played field hockey. I, of course, attended church in Vespers and all of the things that I could participate in, as well as keep up with my studies. The only times that we went to Abingdon, to the hospital in those 2 years, was once a week. We would put on our uniforms, which was a blue dress with starched hard collars and cuffs, and white bibs and apron, and of course, white hose and shiny white shoes. But most of all, we put on our nurse's cape, and we were so proud. And the college transported us down in a van for primary, just learn vital signs. We spent a lot of time just getting to know the instructors, meeting other students at the nurses' quarters. We had a little bit of time to get to know the town. So by the time summer came, we didn't go home. We went to Abingdon and spent the summer, and then back to Emory the second year. It was the third year we were at just nurses' quarters, and the fourth year all year long. And we did our clinicals at the hospital there. We took all of our surgical classes. All of our clinicals were at Johnston Memorial Hospital in Abingdon. It was very rewarding. Our Miss Chase was the lady the dummy that we used to learn to do a bed bath. We gave shots to the orange, used an orange to give a shot, and it was, after visiting Marion at the Health South Center, and it's so lovely, and I was so happy that Dr. Ferguson invited my class, which 2 others, and I went in the spring of last year to visit. I was just blown away at the marvelous facility there and the advancement in technology in teaching. It made me want to go back to school. But back to my experience in the hospital in Abingdon, my first day on the floor, I realized for sure this is what I want to do. I was raised in a Christian home with loving, caring parents who taught me to be kind and be good to people, take care of people, and this really came through. I knew for sure I wanted to be a nurse, and I could fulfill that. And I hope today, as you enter your career, that you will have the same feeling I had and will practice that compassionate nursing care throughout your career.
The nursing education has changed a bit, the practice and the profession has changed a bit, but the constant theme of compassion, that's what gets you through the days that are hard. That's what gets you through the shifts that you've worked, you've had sad outcomes, or you've had shortage of staff or too many patients. That's what gets you through, is the reason you become a nurse. And I think that she really portrays and affirms that Emory and Henry's had a commitment to compassionate care and to nursing education for this region, for this rural region, for decades. We just needed to revitalize it a little bit in the last few years. So now we come to the part in the program where you've all been waiting for the donning of the coats. Faculty, please rise and come forward. Students, please rise and stand and wait for your name to be called. Esme Atkinson. Brooke Clifton. Bailey Dalton. Mackenzie Glass. Addison Graziano. Grace Hibbs. Dana Hill. Clay McDaniel. Orrin McGlone. Shylin Moore. Haley Pike. Madeline Snow. Jade Strebe. And Maggie Williams. Dr. Farmer will now lead the students and faculty in the recitation of the Emory and Henry School of Nursing Pledge, publicly affirming a commitment to compassionate nursing care. The pledge may be found on the back of your program. And off script, I'm going to invite the cohort of 2024, if you'd like to stand and reaffirm your pledge, that would be great.
Okay, thank you, and please read along with me as we go through the pledge. I solemnly pledge before my God and the presence of this assembly myself to the service of humanity and will endeavor to practice my profession with conscience and with dignity. I will offer my heart and hands to care for the needs of others, whether spoken or unspoken. I will maintain by all the means in my power the honor and noble tradition of my profession. I will endeavor to maintain and elevate the standard of nursing, but as a science and as an art. I will take a holistic approach to nursing, recognizing the individual as a whole by serving their mind, body, and spirit. I will hold in confidence all personal matters coming to my knowledge. I will uphold the duty to my patient regardless of their cultural and personal attributes that might differ from or be in conflict with my personal attributes. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I commit to interprofessional collaboration and lifelong learning. I fully acknowledge the seriousness of the responsibility that I accept in my calling and the significance of this pledge that I take today. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor.
Thank you, Dr. Farmer. Reverend Wright will now come forward for the blessing of the hands, followed by a benediction.
And let me ask for you all to remain standing, and if you all will stand again, please. I will offer this blessing for all of you all who are nurses. As you embark on this journey to fulfill your calling to become nurses, I offer this blessing for your hands. For it is the hands that do the work of the head, the work of the heart, and the work of healing. Blessed be your hands that will touch life. Blessed be your hands that will feel pain. Blessed be your hands that will embrace with compassion. Blessed be your hands that will give hope to those who are overwhelmed. Blessed be your hands that will support your colleagues. Blessed be the future that you hold in your hands. May your hands always be the hands of the great physician. And may your hands work with your head and your heart to heal and to bring grace, justice, and peace to all of God's children. Amen. And now I'll invite the rest of you all to stand to receive a benediction this evening. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you his peace, now and always. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Wright. Thank you to Emily McGraw, the pianist, for providing accompanying music for tonight's event, and to Carolyn Powers, the School of Nursing Administrative Assistant, for her tireless efforts in planning this event. Family and friends, this now concludes our white coat ceremony. Please join us in the lobby for coffee and dessert as we celebrate the class of 2025 at Emory and Henry College School of Nursing.